Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.
Mr. Chairman, I have a unanimous consent request.
I'm sorry?
I have a unanimous consent request.
Proceed.
First, I'd like to seek unanimous consent to enter into the record this article, counties that provided sanctuary to undocumented immigrants saw falling crime rates, steady fines.
Without objection, so ordered.
Second, data shows sanctuary policies make communities safer, healthier, and more prosperous.
Without objection, so ordered.
And third, Trump team focuses deportation on immigration numbers, not criminals.
Without objection, so ordered. Chair now recognizes Mr. Garcia from California.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to thank our governors for being here as well. Thank you all for your service to your states and to our country. I want to just be clear, Donald Trump clearly and House Republicans are really not serious about helping our states and our cities. Before I came to Congress, I was a mayor and I worked closely with our police department, incredible men and women that worked really hard to promote policies that actually make the public safer. Now, during that time, our city actually reported some of the lowest murder rates in history. And I've been in close touch with our current police department, our local sheriff, and local law enforcement. And I want to be clear. Donald Trump is intentionally provoking chaos, hate, and division. Now, Trump is trying to intimidate. He's using our military to create fear, and there's no legal justification for his actions. I strongly believe he's trying to keep American citizens from peacefully making their voices heard. We just had a demonstration in my hometown of Long Beach, California. Over 500 people showed up. There was no vandalism, there were no arrests, and it was peaceful, and I want to thank them. Trump is trying to make it very clear that this is about intimidation. I believe he's fueling violence on our streets because he thinks it's politically helpful to him. And I actually want to remind our committee that when Donald Trump was president in 2020, that's actually when we saw surges in violent crime across the country. They increased under Donald Trump's watch. We should be focused on actual public safety threats, but we know that Donald Trump is taking federal law enforcement away from actually investigating serious crimes and cartels. And if you ask any police department, police chief across the country in your states, they will tell you they want their police focused on the issues in their neighborhoods, in the state, traffic violations, speeding, domestic violence. Those are the issues that people want to see addressed. Law enforcement should be focused on those issues, and I know the governors agree. Back in my home district in Downey, California, we've had agents just yesterday grab people in front of churches, their houses of worship. Agents refused to identify themselves and show warrants. An elderly man was dropping off his granddaughter at their local church and was detained in front of the property and the family. That is outrageous and should be disturbing to every single American. And we know this does actually nothing to protect the public. But this, of course, is Donald Trump's playbook. He doesn't care about the safety of the American people. He fuels hate and fear. It's no coincidence that Donald Trump is fueling chaos. At the same time, he's advancing legislation which the American people know is completely toxic and harmful to this country. We're looking at 16 million people losing health care. It's being debated right now as we speak in the Senate. Nutrition cuts for seniors and veterans, huge tax cuts for the wealthiest and the largest corporations in this country. And while this is being debated, Donald Trump is causing chaos and fear across our country. I want to ask the governors in the remaining time that we have. It is clear that health care and these impacts of this bill will impact all three of your states greatly. And so I have a brief question. What is the bigger risk to your state? Ripping away health care from millions of people across the country, thousands and thousands in your own states, or the law-abiding, working undocumented folks in your states? And I'll let you each go ahead and give that answer. We'll start with Governor Pritzker.
Thank you very much, Congressman Garcia. There are 770,000 people who stand to lose their health care in the state of Illinois, perhaps even more, depending on how this bill turns out. And I can tell you that there are people who are dependent upon Medicaid and Medicare to survive. I am deeply, deeply concerned about the deaths that will occur as a result of the cuts, not to mention that we're taking away SNAP benefits from families that need it most, and children. Veteran services, people who have PTSD, who need to see their therapist at a certain time, now have to wait much longer periods of time because of the threat of this bill. So I'm deeply concerned. DOGE has taken away one of our facilities in the state of Illinois already. It's a huge problem, and that is the threat.
Thank you, Governor Walz.
Yeah, thank you, Congressman. In Minnesota, in 2023, we were ranked as the top state for healthcare, home of the Mayo Clinic. We have more people covered almost than any other state. This bill would take 250,000 people off of healthcare, make it more difficult, reduce the outcomes we're getting. 40% of those are children receive their care through that way, and over 70, I believe 70% of nursing home patients. It would be catastrophic, and the state has built it up to improve lives of all of our citizens.
Thank you. And finally, Governor Hochul.
Healthcare is a basic human right, and I'm proud in the state of New York that 95% of people in our state have health care coverage. But these devastating cuts will throw off at least 1.5 million New Yorkers, and not just those individuals, but when hospitals in rural areas have to shut down, the entire community will lose important services. So this will have a ripple effect through our economy and hurt more than just the people who lose their Medicaid. And it is devastating and absolutely unwarranted. And we encourage everyone to stand up, speak up on behalf of their constituents, especially those from the state of New York who represent rural areas. They're counting on you.
Thank you. Governors, I thank you, and I yield back.
Chair now recognizes Mr. Biggs from Arizona.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I get a kick out of